I have now seen all 10 Best Picture nominees. Here is my ranking. Number 10 is Dune, arguably the most sleep-inducing of the Best Picture nominees. I didn't like this movie one bit. It's nothing but empty spectacle. It moves at the pace of a glacier. Number 9 is Belfast. Okay, Kenneth Branagh, I get that you were mining your own personal territory, but ultimately, this is just people in Belfast sitting around indoors in windows while political events unfold around them. The kid is cute. The movie, on the other hand, leaves a lot to be desired from a storytelling standpoint. Number 8 is The Power of the Dog. Look, I love Jane Campion. I think An Angel at My Table is a masterpiece, but this ain't it. It is merely subtext and innuendo in lieu of actual character study. It thinks that it's McCabe and Mrs. Miller, but it's actually a snooze fest. Number 7 is King Richard. A very exciting tennis match, and it should have been a great movie. The problem is that Will Smith is playing Will Smith, not Richard Williams. I do love all of the kids in this movie, however. Number 6 is West Side Story. I'm a huge fan of the original, and there's a lot of great energy and vivacity from Spielberg here. Tony Kushner's script is what sinks this movie for me. It revels in Puerto Rican stereotypes and bad dialogue, but the energy and the production design is incredible, so that's why it's at number 6. Number 5 is Don't Look Up, which I very much enjoyed, and which is probably the most pertinent to our present times. Number 4 is Drive My Car, which is a fascinating adaptation of the Murakami story. This movie, for the first 2 hours especially, is a masterclass in mood and tone as a man deals with grief and the monotony of his particular existence, and a driver who has to drive him from one place to another. I found this movie initially quite fascinating. I think it peters out in its last 30 minutes, but still worth your while. And the next 3 movies I love the most. Number 3 is Coda. Yes, it is a crowd pleaser, but it's also one of the few movies I've seen in which deaf people are portrayed with real dimension. I came to love this family. And how often do you see a town hall meeting where a deaf man stands up and defies the man? Love this movie, very emotional, loved it. And number 2 is Licorice Pizza, also a wonderful movie that depicts life. And it's kind of interesting that the top 2 movies that I picked involve hustlers to some degree. This is a beautiful movie that wavers between light summer romance and fantasy. Now for my number 1 slot. Honestly, Nightmare Alley is the best by a mile of the 10 Best Picture nominees. It is absolutely rich with atmosphere, fantastic acting, wonderful noir, the best damn noir in years. I will see this again and again. It's not going to win, but it deserves to.